What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we'll take a look at Men in Black 3, the third and thus far final installment into the mainline Men in Black franchise. Once again, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones return to the roles of Agent J and Agent K, and also Barry Sonnenfeld returns as director, with Bill Pope as the cinematographer. Okay, so the overall plot for Men in Black 3 is this. There's this new villain named Boris the Animal who has it out for Agent K. So what happens is Boris goes back in time, he kills a young Agent K, and now Agent J has to go back in time to save K, while all the while some mysteries of J's past gets revealed. So that's the overall story of Men in Black 3. It's very, very convoluted when you actually look at it, but I thought Barry Sonnenfeld did a great job with Men in Black 3. I think Men in Black 3 is, to me, this is the second best Men in Black movie aside from the first one. And I've never seen Men in Black International. I really don't have much of an interest in seeing that movie. But when you compare Men in Black 3 to Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3 to me goes back to the spirit of that first movie. You know, as usual, Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith are fantastic in their roles as Agent J and Agent K. And now that we're seeing these guys, 15 years later, 15 years older, their chemistry is still top notch. Like Smith and Jones, these two guys, I don't know what it is and how they work so well. Because you would think that Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones wouldn't work as an on-screen duo, but they work so well. Will Smith's outlandish personality, perfectly matches the grumpy exterior of Tommy Lee Jones. And in Men in Black 3, the relationship between J and K is further explained and expanded upon. And we really see how both these men, they do really care about one another, especially when we deep dive into K's past. And a lot of secrets get unraveled. It puts their relationship into a whole new context, and it kind of puts that first movie into a whole new context as well. So I actually like, from a story standpoint, how the relationship between J and K kind of gets more beefed up, and it's great. Smith and Jones do fantastic in this movie. If I do have a criticism, I think Tommy Lee Jones, he's not in this movie a lot. Like, he's in like the first half of he's in like the first act of the movie. Then once the second act starts and Will Smith goes back in time, where we have Josh Brolin playing a younger version of Agent K. And not for nothing, Josh Brolin as young K is fantastic. Like, you would think that you're watching a young Tommy Lee Jones when you see Josh Brolin play Agent K. And Brolin and Smith, they have their own special kind of chemistry, and it just works. And one of the things, the best thing about Men in Black 3, that to me, it works from a fundamental standpoint with the performances. Like Smith and Jones, fantastic as always, but Smith and Brolin, they have their own little unique chemistry. Like Agent J bouncing off a young Agent K is really, really good. And Brolin, like I said, puts on a fantastic performance as a young K. And like I said, he and Smith, great on-screen chemistry. The inclusion of Agent O, who takes over for Zed, as this movie, as Rip Torn had passed away in real life. So as tribute, to his character, they bring in Agent O, played by Emma Thompson. I thought she was really good in the role as well. I like how the movie teases that O and K have a bit of a romance going on. Specifically when we go back in time, and a younger version is played by Alice Eve. Like, the movie teases that K and O have a thing going on. So I kind of like that. It humanizes K more, and that exterior of his gets chipped away. But we also see that a young Agent K, he's actually much more livelier than he is when he's older. And when we find out exactly what broke him and what happened, we kind of understand it. And what really happened was, so when Jay goes back in time to save K, you get to the big first. Before I get to that, let me just talk about the performances first. So yeah, Eve and Brolin, fantastic. The addition of the new villain, Boris the Animal, played by Jermaine Clement, fantastic. Like, Boris the Animal is a really cool villain. I like him on par with Edgar. And I also like the performance by Jermaine Clement, because he's channeling his inner Tim Curry. Like, when you see Boris the Animal, he looks like Tim Curry and he sounds like Tim Curry, and it's a fun performance, and he's a memorable villain. A vast, huge improvement over that first movie. And not only that, making Boris have a personal vendetta against Kay also makes this movie feel like it's like also gives this movie some personal stakes. I like that too. So like from a story standpoint and from a villain standpoint, they really got it down with Men in Black 3, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. From a production standpoint, this movie has a beautiful look. Like the look of 2012 looks fantastic, but when we go back to 1969, beautiful. The cinematography is very, very colorful, very, very vibrant. It's a big contrast to that grounded, almost gritty look that the first movie had. This one has a more polished, stylized look, but it works for the Men in Black franchise. Like it really, really works. Like Barry Sonnenfeld knows how to make his movies look fantastic. And knows how to make his movies work. So from a production standpoint, got no complaints whatsoever. From a story standpoint, I overall think the film is very, very solid. Like I said, if I do have criticisms, it's the fact that Tommy Lee Jones is used very, very sparingly, and the overall plot can be very, very convoluted. And the movie does have like a lot of characters that it tries to juggle. So and for the most part, it does okay, and it doesn't do so good. But it tries. And not every single joke in this movie will land either. But for the most part, they do land. Okay, and with all that out of the way, let me get to the big thing that I really, really like. So after all is said and done, where old Boris gets killed off by Jay, we see young Boris who is about to kill Kay until Kay kills that young Boris back. But before he does that, we find out that Kay and Jay, they had help from Jay's dad when they go back into the past. And because Kay has to put this arc light onto the space shuttle as a way to have a protection against Earth from invading forces. So Jay's dad, who is a military colonel, he actually helps out the Men in Black, and it's actually Jay's dad who sacrifices himself to save Kay, which gives Kay the opening to kill Boris. Now, why I like this so much is that it's actually revealed that a young Jay, as a child, was there the day that Kay, killed Boris. And it's from that moment on where Kay pretty much took it upon himself to mentor and shepherd Jay pretty much from a child all the way to his adulthood when he became a cop eventually in the first movie. And to me, that adds a whole new level of context to the relationship, and it further cements the fact that Jay and Kay, they're not just best friends, but they do have a father and son type of relationship. And this movie pretty much cements the fact that pretty much Kay and Jay, throughout all their disagreements and stuff like that, they love each other more. They love each other as family pretty much. And that in the ending of this movie cements that perfectly. Especially when you find out that Kay basically had to neuralize a young Jay and not tell him the truth that his father was dead. And I like that. And I like how the reason why Kay is the way he is because of what happened to Jay's father, and the fact that Kay had to lie to Jay about it, but also to make up for it, Kay took it upon himself to pretty much be Jay's unofficial guardian and mentor. I love all that stuff. It puts everything into context. So yeah, the ending for this movie, to me, fantastic. The time traveling stuff, yeah, it can be very, very hard to follow, but it does look cool. The inclusion of actors like Michael Stahlberg and Bill Hader in little roles, fine with me. I think Michael Stahlberg is a very, very underrated actor, and I actually like Bill Hader. I find Bill Hader to be very, very, very funny. So yeah, those are just my overall thoughts on Men in Black 3. I'm sorry if this review is a very jumbled mess, but this is a really good third installment into the franchise. I enjoy Men in Black 3. I think I like this movie just one step below the first Men in Black. Like the first Men in Black is great, despite the criticisms I do have of Men in Black 3. I do think it's a very, very solid entry. It is a vast improvement over Men in Black 2, which I don't think is that good. And as a final grade for me, Men in Black 3 is a solid 8 out of 10. If you'd have stopped at this movie, I think the franchise would have gone on a high note. That's just me personally. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Men in Black 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe. And I will check you back next time for more.